अवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to our last session on this chapter of Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, wherein on the first day, before yesterday, we discussed how Mahaprabhu got up early in the morning on the day of Ratha Yatra, and after taking bath, he went along with his devotees in the Sri Mandir to see Pandu Vijay festival, and they are the pastimes of Lord Jagannath. Then the king worshipped the Lord. He also swept the area, the road in front of the car. That pleased Mahaprabhu a lot. Then Mahaprabhu divided his devotees into 7 parties, 4 in front, 1 on either side of the chariot, and 1 at the back side. And then they were seeing so many pastimes there. Mahaprabhu offered prayers also. Apart from that, when Shrivas Thakur was blocking the vision of King Prataprudra, and Harichandan, his assistant, was trying to put him little aside, Srivas Thakur. Ultimately, he slapped him. When Harichandan was about to retaliate, but then Prataprudra pacified him, saying that you are very fortunate to have received the touch of the lotus hand of Srivas Thakur. You are fortunate, I am not that fortunate. Then somehow Harichandan controlled himself. And then the bhav, the mood of the gopis when they saw Krishna in Kurukshetra on the pretext. So that section we are discussing, Mahaprabhu is offering those prayers. We saw up to 140th. I will read it again. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities. Radharani and gopis are saying. But even though I try, I cannot do so. I am naturally inclined to you only. Your instructions for me to meditate on you are therefore simply ludicrous. In this way, you are killing me. It is not very good for you to think of me as a candidate for your instructions. So this mood of the gopis is there all throughout. This is their mood. And they want to forget Krishna. They are telling directly Krishna that we want to forget you. We want to engage in materialistic activities. We many times say that I want to give up materialistic activities and want to remember Krishna. But their problem is exactly opposite. They just can't forget Krishna only. That is just not possible. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, the 10th canto, Gopi Geet, when they sing that song of separation, the 31st chapter, they have similar feelings. Yesterday I was, I think, referring. Shadadudasaye sadhu jata sat sarasi jodara Shri Mushadrusha Suratanathate Ashulkadasika Varadhanignato Neha Kim Vadha. So this second verse only, wherein gopis are saying, "O Lord of love, in beauty your glance excels the whirl of the finest, most perfectly formed lotus within the autumn pond. O bestower of benedictions, you are killing the maid servants who have given themselves to you freely without any price. Isn't this murder?" The gopis' mood is so exalted. They're directly telling Krishna that you are killing us by telling us to go back home, where we came from. We have given up everything for your sake. How can one give up your association? It is very intoxicating. Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Same mood is expressed over here also. So we'll go ahead. 141st. नहे गोपी योगेश्वर पद कमल तोमार ध्यान करी पाइबे संतोष तोमार वाक्य परिपाटी तार मध्य कुटी नाटी शुनि गोपीर आरो बाढ़े रोष. The gopis are not like the mystic yogis. They will never be satisfied simply by meditating on your lotus feet and imitating the so-called yogis. Teaching the gopis about meditation is another kind of duplicity. When they are instructed to undergo mystic yoga practice, they are not at all satisfied. On the contrary, they become more and more angry with you. So, Kaivalyam Narakayati, Prabodhananda Saraswati's verse from Chaitanya Chandramrita, wherein the devotee is not happy with any exalted position in this material world because he has received the sidelong glance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yat karunya kataksha vaibhavavatam tam gauram evastamaha. देह स्मृति नाही यार संसार कूप कहाँ तार तहाँ होते न चाहे उद्धार विरह समुद्र जले कामति मिंगिले गिले गोपी गणे नहे तार पार. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, the gopis have fallen into the great ocean of separation and are being devoured by the timingala fish of their ambition to serve you. The gopis are to be delivered from the mouths of these timingala fish, for they are pure devotees. Since they have no material conception of life, why should they aspire for liberation? The gopis do not want that liberation desired by yogis and jnanis, for they are already liberated from the ocean of material existence. Prabhupada quotes this first line of this verse from in 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Jada Bharat section. Deha smriti nahi jar sansara bandhana kahantar. This is Bangla, that is sansara bandhana kahantar. That also is Bangla only, I think. But this is also similar. One who is not in the bodily concept of life, for him there is no material existence at all. So gopis are like that. They are completely Krishna conscious. Vrindavana Govardhan Yamuna Pulinavan Sei Kunjera Sadika Leela Sei Vrajera Vrajajan Mata Pita Bandhugan Bada Chitra Kimone Pasarila. It is amazing that you have forgotten the land of Vrindavan. Gopis are telling Krishna. And how is it that you have forgotten your father, mother, and friends? How have you forgotten Govardhan Hill, the bank of the Yamuna, and the forest where you enjoyed the Raslila dance? Vidagdha mrudu sadguna sushila snigdha karuna tumi tomar nahi dosha bhasa tabe ye tomar man nahi smare vrajajan se amara durdaiva vilasa. Krishna, you are certainly a refined gentleman with all good qualities. You are well behaved, soft hearted, and merciful. I know that there is not even a tinge of fault to be found in you. Yet, your mind does not even remember the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is only my misfortune and nothing else. Nagani apana dukha dekhi vrajeshwari mukha vrajajanera rudhaya vidare kiba mara vrajavasi kiba jiao rajayasi ke na jiao dukha sahai bare. I do not care for my personal unhappiness, but when I see the morose face of Mother Yashoda and the hearts of all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, breaking because of you. I wonder whether you want to kill them all, or do you want to enliven them by coming there? Why are you simply keeping them alive in a state of suffering? These are all outpourings of their heart. Such intense love for Krishna. तुम्हारा ये अन्य वेश अन्य संग अन्य देश व्रज जने कभू नहीं भाय ब्रजभूमि छाड़िते नारे तो मन देखिले मरे ब्रज जने रखी हबे उपाय. The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want you dressed like a prince, nor do they want you to associate with great warriors in a different country. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence, they are all dying. What is their condition to be? So, Vrajavasis were quite in feelings of separation from Krishna. In Jiva Goswami's Sri Gopal Champu, he says, Nanda Maharaj appointed 100 messengers in the pairs. So 50 groups of messengers were going continuously from Vrindavan to Mathura, and then Mathura to Vrindavan. They are continuously going 50. You can imagine, like something like 25 are going, 25 are coming, and that way they are getting continuous news. So they were so much eager to hear about Krishna, and they want Krishna to come back. But Krishna, in order to bring out that their madhur ras of separation, the feelings of separation are, they increase the remembrance of the lover. They have in English saying, absence make what grow fonder? Absence make remembrance grow fonder, I think. Not remembrance. Absence make, nobody knows English saying, or it may be spiritual English saying in the devotional circle, but something like this. Absence makes heart grow fonder. Exactly. So good to have shastras like this. We have shastra with them, electronic shastra. Vyakti Bhagavad, Grantha Bhagavad, and Yantra Bhagavad. 3 Bhagavatas should be always served. So the latest edition, 21st century, Yantra Bhagavad. 3 Bhagavatas we should always serve. So they were getting the news continuously, but they wanted Krishna to be back. So that's what they are saying. That they cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence, they are all dying. Because the ras is different. Mathura and Vrindavan. Vrindavan is a little opulent. Opulences are there. And in Mathura, and in Vrindavan, it is all madhur. So that's why Vrajavasis cannot go to Mathura, though it is so close by, because the rasas are different. Tumi vrajera jivan, vraja rajera pranadhan, tumi vrajera sakala sampada, krupardra tomaraman, asiji ao vrajajan, vraje udaya karava nijapada. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan Dham. You are especially the life of Nanda Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan, and you are very merciful. Please come and let all the residents of Vrindavan leave. Kindly keep your lotus feet again in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan, all glories is because of Krishna's appearance. In fact, in the first verse of Gopi Git, Gopi say, Gopya uchuhu jayati te dhikam janmana vrajaha shrayata indira Shashwadatrahi Dayitadrashatam Dikshutavaka Tvayidhrita Savas Tvam Vichinvate. The gopis said, "O beloved, your birth in the land of Raja has made it exceedingly glorious, and thus Indira, the goddess of fortune, always resides here. It is only for your sake that we, your beloved servants, maintain our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you, So please show yourself to us. Because Krishna suddenly disappeared from the Ras Leela arena. So gopis, while searching for Krishna, are reciting these verses. Kindly keep your lotus feet again in Vrindavan. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan Dham. You are especially the life of Nanda Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan, and you are very merciful. Please come and let all the residents of Vrindavan live. Kindly keep your lotus feet again in Vrindavan. शुनिया राधिका वाणी व्रज प्रेम मने आनी भावे व्याकुलित देह मन व्रजलो केरा प्रेम शुनि आपना के ऋणी मानी करे कृष्ण तारे आश्वासन. After hearing Srimati Radharani's statements, Lord Krishna's love for the inhabitants of Vrindavan was evoked, and his body and mind became very much perturbed. After hearing of their love for him, he immediately thought himself to be always indebted to the residents of Vrindavan. Then Krishna began to pacify Srimati Radharani as follows. So that was Radharani's heart. Now we will come to know Krishna's heart. This is also so relishable. प्राण प्रिय सुन मोर ये सत्य वचन तोमा सबार श्रवणे झूरो मोई रात्रि दिने मोर दुख न जाने को न जाना. My dearest Srimati Radharani, please hear me. I am speaking the truth. I cry day and night simply upon remembering all you inhabitants of Vrindavan. No one knows how unhappy this makes me. In Shri Brod Bhagavatamrut letter section, second section, Srila Sanatan Goswami explains about Nava Vrindavan, how when Krishna in separation from Brajavasis was not able to get up early in the morning, then under the guidance of Narad Muni, they had arranged Nava Vrindavan. There only in Dwarka on the sea beach, a little bit inside, jungle area, they arranged Vrindavan and all were arranged. Their dioramas were arranged. Nanda Maharaj, Yashodamai, Radharani, Gopis, and all of them. And Krishna relishes it so much. He would not be able to sleep in the night. He would call out Radharani's name, Gopis' names, and all the queens would wonder. He doesn't remember us. He's sleeping with us, but he doesn't remember us, and he is remembering the gopis. How dear are the gopis to Krishna. So separation, the feelings of Krishna's heart were understood only to some extent by Balramji, and nobody there in Mathura or Dwarka was able to understand. Hmm. Hmm. This is, I'm not exactly sure how it does. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami has the liberty to explain their hearts, both the parties, because both are there. Krishna is Jagannath and Krishna is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But he has the liberty to directly get into the original conversation, original moods in Kurukshetra. व्रजवासी यत जाना माता पिता सखा गण सबिहाय मोर प्राण सामा. तार मध्ये गोपी गण साक्षात् मोर जीवन तुमि मोर जीवनेर जीवना. This is one of my most favorite verses. Sri Krishna continued, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, father, cowherd boyfriends, and everything else are like my life and soul. And among all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis are my very life and soul. And among the gopis, you, Srimati Radharani, are the chief. Therefore, you are the very life of my life. Very nice. All three rasas are covered. Sakya ras, Vatsalya ras, and Madhurya ras. That's this is amazing. তোমা সবার প্রেম রসে আমাকে করিল বশে আমি তোমার অধীন কেবল তোমা সব ছাড়াইয়া আমা দূর দেশ লইয়া রাখিয়াছে দুর্দৈব প্রবল. My dear Srimati Radharani, I am always subservient to the loving affairs of all of you. I am under your control only. My separation from you and residence in distant places have occurred due to my strong misfortune. प्रिया प्रिय संगहीना प्रिय प्रिया संगविना नाही जिये ये सत्य प्रमाण मोर दशा शोने अबे तार ये दशा हवे ये भये दुहे राखे प्राण. When a woman is separated from the man she loves, or a man is separated from his beloved woman, neither of them can live. It is a fact that they live only for each other. For if one dies and the other hears of it, he or she will die also. So, intense love. I hope we reach such kind of intense love towards the Lord, for the Lord. ये सती प्रेमवती प्रेमवान से पति वियोगे ये वांछे प्रिय हिते नागणे आपन दुख वांछे प्रिय जन सुख से दुई मिले अचिराते. Such a loving chaste wife and loving husband desire all welfare for each other in separation and do not care for personal happiness. Desiring only each other's well-being, such a pair certainly meet again without delay. अखिते तुम्हार जीवन सेवियामी नारायण तार शक्ति आसी नीति नीति तोमासने क्रीडा करी नीति आई यदुपुरी तहा तुमी मानह मोर स्फूर्ति. You are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment. Just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayan. By his merciful potency, I come to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes with you. I then return to Dwarka Dham. Thus, you can always feel my presence there in Vrindavan. In Bhava Swarup, Krishna remained there only, but as such, he went. But because gopis have so much bhav for them, and Radharani has Mahabhav, so he is available for her always. मोर भाग्य मो विषये तोमर ये प्रेम हये से प्रेम परम प्रबल लोकाय आम आने संग कराय तोम सने प्रकटे जानी बे सत्व आनी बे सत्वर. Our love affair is more powerful because of my good fortune in receiving Narayan's grace. This allows me to come there unseen by others. I hope that very soon I will be visible to everyone. Prabhupada in purport says, even if Krishna is not physically present, the devotee's constant absorption in the affairs of Krishna makes him always present. Premanjana Churit, Prabhupada quoting. Devotees who are always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna will soon see Krishna face to face. You will see Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra very soon, face to face, because you are absorbed in thoughts of Lord Jagannath. In other words, devotees who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and are fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna certainly return home back to Godhead. Then they see Krishna directly, face to face, talk with him and enjoy his company. यादवेर विपक्ष यत दुष्ट कंस पक्ष तहा अमी कैलु सब क्षय आछे दुई चारि जन तहा मारी वृंदावन आइलाम आमी जानी निश्चय. He is giving assurance. I already killed all the mischievous demons who are enemies of the Yadu dynasty, and I have also killed Kamsa and his allies. But there are 2 or 4 demons still living. I want to kill them, and after doing so, I shall very soon return to Vrindavan. Please know this for certain. Krishna, after killing Dantavakra, did visit Vrindavan. He was killed in Mathura. From that side, Mathura side, when he came to Vrindavan, that there is one gate called Datiha. One village only is there. Datiha is because Dantavakra was killed, and Krishna came from that side. And he met Brajavasis. He sent them back to Godhead, and he came back again to Dwarka because still Yadava's fratricidal war was remaining. Their Maushal Lila was remaining. से शत्रुगण हईते व्रज जन राखीते रही राज्य उदासीन हईया एवं स्त्री पुत्र धने करी राज्य आवरणे यदु गणेर संतोष लागिया. I wish to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the attacks of my enemies. That is why I remain in my kingdom. Otherwise, I am indifferent to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the Yadus. When Jarasandha was attacking 17 times, He was coming from Vrindavan side. That's why Krishna's concern was a lot more. That let not Vrajavasis get affected because of these Jarasanda's soldiers. Ultimately, anyway, he was driven out. Promaraye prema guna kare ama akarshana anibe ama dina dashavishe puna asi vrindavane vrajavadhu tomasane vilasi barajani divase. Your loving qualities always attract me to Vrindavan. Indeed, they will bring me back within 10 or 20 days. And when I return, I shall enjoy both day and night with you and all the damsels of Brajabhumi. एत तारे कही कृष्ण व्रजयाते सतृष्ण एक श्लोक पढ़ी सुनाइल से श्लोक सुनि राधा खंडिल सकल बाधा कृष्ण प्राप्ते प्रतीति होइल. While speaking to Srimati Radharani, Krishna became very anxious to return to Vrindavan. He made her listen to a verse which banished all her difficulties and which assured her that she would again attain Krishna. मयि भक्तिर्हि भूतानाम् अमृतत्वाय कल्पते दिष्ट्या यद् आसीन् मत्स्नेहो भवति नाम मद आपनः. Lord Sri Krishna said, devotional service unto me is the only way to attain me. My dear gopis, whatever love and affection you have attained for me by good fortune is the only reason for my returning to you. This is 10th canto, 82nd chapter, 44th verse. ई सब अर्थ प्रभु स्वरूपे रसने रात्रि दिने घरे वसी करे आस्वादने. So this was the discussion between Swarup Damodar and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Day and night they would discuss this and relish in the association of each other. Because Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Saki and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. So they are discussing. नृत्य काले से भावे आविष्ट हैया श्लोक पढ़ी नाचे जगन्नाथ मुख चया. So that was going on there also, but here also while dancing Mahaprabhu's bhav is that the actual conversation took place in Gambhira with Swarup Damodar Goswami, but here that bhav, all those thoughts are generated in the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nritya kale sei bhav avishta haya. Mahaprabhu got absorbed in that thought, that mood. Shloka padi nache Jagannatha mukhachaya. While looking at the face of Lord Jagannath, he danced and recited these verses. Swarupa gosaira bhagya najaya varnan prabhute avishtayara kaya vakyaman. Who can tell the fortune of Swarup Damodar Goswami, because his body, mind and words were all absorbed in Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the service of Mahaprabhu. स्वरूपेर इंद्रिये प्रभुर निजेंद्रिय गण अविष्ट हया करे गान आस्वादन. The senses of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were identical with the senses of Swarup. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to become fully absorbed in testing the singing of Swarup Damodar. When Mahaprabhu would go in ecstasy, these devotees, Swarup Damodar and Ramanand Rai, they would either sing some melody which is appropriate. Swarup Damodar Goswami would sing some melody appropriate to the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What mood is there, and accordingly you sing. Just like when we are also invited for kirtan, so if it is a jolly, what you call, occasion, and we can sing some tunes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jolly. Now, if somebody is dead, you cannot sing this tune. Right? Our relative is dead and he's so happy, so jolly. Why? So there you have to sing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj would sing in Pune Yatra. After having Gaur Aarti from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And nursing Aarti of some half an hour, after dancing so much for 3 hours, then we would sit and all the lights were switched off. The Gaur Nitai are there on one table and two candles, one on Nityan's side and one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After dancing so much and all lights are switched off, and Maharaj would introduce new tune, some rag, Saraswati, Bhairavi, Bhatiyari, Pattamanjari, some rag, and it's soft rag only. So then it would go on 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So then lights would be switched on. Then our life is also switched on, which was put out. Then look at the watch. Oh, 1:30 in the night. What is the next plan? Is the next day of Pune Yatra beginning, or this day is ended? What is it? Then Krishna Chandra would make announcements. This bus will go that side. This devotee is in that. Those who are in that direction, their buses are there. Then we would come back to temple like that. So these two, and Ramananda Rai would sing many times the songs of Vidyapati, Chandidas, and one more, Kalidas, I think. Yes, these are very great poets, very great devotees. When Advaita Acharya went to Mithila, he met, I think, Vidyapati. And when Advaita Acharya's devotion was seen by Vidyapati, he was greatly pleased. He was revived in his Krishna consciousness by the association of Advaita Acharya. So these verses would be recited, or the songs would be sung for Mahaprabhu's pleasure by these two. The senses of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were identical with the senses of Swarup. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to become fully absorbed in testing the singing of Swarup Damodar. Bhavera aveshaka bhume te vasiya tarjani te bhume likhe adhomukha hayya. In emotional ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes sit on the ground and looking down would write on the ground with his finger. Gopis do that, and sometimes it is that girls do that, like that, when their mood is little different. So Mahaprabhu would also do that. Angulite ksatahabe jani damodar bhaye nija kare nivaraye ka prabhukar. Fearing that the Lord would injure his finger by writing in this way, Swarup Damodar checked him with his own hand, because the ground is rough and he is putting also some pressure. Skin may get abrased or get peeled off. So that was the concern of Swarup Damodar. So he would catch his hand. Prabhura bhavanurupa swarupe ragan yabiye rasataha kare murtiman. Swarup Damodar used to sing exactly according to the ecstatic emotion of the Lord. Whenever a particular mellow was being tested by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar would personify it by singing. Shri Jagannathera dekhe Shri Mukha Kamal Tahara Upara Sundara Nayana Yugal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked upon the beautiful lotus-like face and eyes of Lord Jagannath. Suryera kirane mukha kare jhalamal malya vastra divya alankara parimal. Lord Jagannath was garlanded, dressed with nice garments and adorned with beautiful ornaments. His face was glittering from the rays of sunshine, and the entire atmosphere was fragrant. Prabhura rudhaye ananda sindhu uthalila unmada jhanjavat utkshane uthila. As ocean of transcendental bliss expanded in the heart of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and symptoms of madness immediately intensified like a hurricane. Anandonmade uthaya bhavera taranga nana bhava sainya upajila yuddha ranga. The madness of transcendental bliss created waves of various emotions. The emotions appeared like opposing soldiers staging a fight. So this happens for pure devotees. Many bhavas surge in their heart, like many waves coming, and it's all like fight going on. So that happens for pure devotees. For us, only one fight, material desires only. Sometimes maybe we also experience that clashing of material desire. Whether should I go for amras or lemon ras? Okay. So two are there simultaneously. Maybe on the Dwadashi day morning, means Pandonirjala Ekadashi next day morning. I don't know how opulent is your prasad here, but in NVCC it is sometimes quite opulent. Like that. They have that what is that ginger water. That is also tasty. And I think lemon juice is also there. Like that. They have opposite effects, it seems, opposite natures. But then devotees mix both. They want to enjoy all natures. Because their nature is compensating yesterday's loss. Like that. And what happens because you have fasted so long, so the whole system gets contracted. And suddenly, because our concept is so much loss, now let us compensate. So much you take, then it is not good. And though it is weakening, fasting is makes one quite weak. But next day somehow one can remain. But after breaking the fast, many devotees get dysentery and other problem because all those things. Some devotees told me this time that next time I think I should not go for this Pandonirjala Ekadashi. Anyway, I did not do only, so I was in ecstasy all throughout. Some devotee may wonder, how this fellow has so much energy. Maybe he has become pure devotee. But nobody knows ये अंदर की बात है कि हमारे अंदर सब कुछ भरा हुआ है. I am संपूर्ण devotee. So always ecstatic like that. I did not go also for breaking fast. So those who are there, they might be wondering, Prabhu has reached soul platform. But our body is so much overloaded. Soul has died buried below the body. The madness of transcendental bliss created waves of various emotions. The emotions appeared like opposing soldiers staging a fight. Bhavodaya, Bhavashanti, Sandhisha, Balya, Sanchari, Satvika Sthai, Swabhava Prabalya. There was an increase in all the natural emotional symptoms. Thus, there were awakening emotions, peacefulness, joined, mixed, transcendental, and prevalent emotions, and impetuses for emotion. They are all technical terms. Sthai bhav, sanchari bhav, satvik bhav. So all of them are there. Prabhura sharira yena shuddha hemachal tara bhava pushpa krama tahe pushpita sakal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body appeared like a transcendental Himalayan mountain bearing ecstatic emotional flower trees, all of them blooming. So mountain, his body is huge and it's golden. So Himachal, Him Achal. Achal means mountains. Those which cannot be chal, they cannot move. Achal. And on that, all these hair standing on end, goosebumps, etc., they are like bearing ecstatic emotional flower trees. It's a nice comparison. All of them blooming. They're all. This, what is it called? Our Kadamba flower, if you have seen. All the, what do you call that? Kind of hair-like structure come out. So like that, his body is also compared to that. All hair are standing up. देखिते आकर्षये सबार चित्तमान प्रेमामृत वृष्टे प्रभु सिंच sabarman. The sight of all these symptoms attracted everyone's mind and consciousness. Indeed, the Lord sprinkled everyone's mind with the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead. So one can feel that ecstasy by in kirtan, in association of devotees, in whatever, maybe hearing katha. Mind gets sprinkled with ecstasy. Jagannatha sevakayata rajapatragan yatrika lokanila chala vasiyata jan. He sprinkled the minds of the servants of Lord Jagannath, the government officers, the pilgrim visitors, the general populace, and all the residents of Jagannath Puri. Everybody felt satisfied. Prabhu Nritya preme dekhi haya chamatkar Krishna prema uchali la hridaye sabar. Upon seeing the dancing and ecstatic love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became astonished. In their hearts, they became infatuated with love of Krishna. प्रेमे नाचे गाय लोक करे कोलाहल प्रभुर नृत्य देखी सबे आनंदे विभल. Everyone danced and chanted in ecstatic love, and a great noise resounded. Everyone was overwhelmed with transcendental bliss just to see the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when we are reading the description, we are also experiencing that. This is just a matter of absorption. How much we are absorbed, that much we also relish. We are there right now on Grand Road, and we are also walking along with Jagannath's cart and Mahaprabhu and his associates. अन्य रखी काय जगन्नाथ हलदर प्रभुर नृत्य देखी सुखे चलिला मंथर. Apart from the others, even Lord Jagannath and Lord Balram, with great happiness, began to move very slowly upon seeing the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have to be very clear. It is not that the people are not able to pull, they're tired, that's why it is going slow. No, it is Jagannath Baldev's mood, accordingly the cart's speed, not that the other way. कभू सुखे नृत्य रंग देखे रथ राखी से कौतुक ये देखिल से तार साक्षी. Lord Jagannath and Lord Balram sometimes stopped the car and happily observed Lord Chaitanya's dancing. Anyone who was able to see them stop and watch the dancing bore witness to their pastimes. एई मत प्रभु नृत्य करिते भ्रमिते प्रताप रुद्रेर आगे लागिला पडिते. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and wandering in this way, he fell down in front of Maharaj Pratap Rudra. Mahaprabhu's mercy is inconceivable. Purposefully he fell down in front of King Pratap Rudra. संभ्रमे प्रताप रुद्र प्रभु के धरिला तहा के देखिते प्रभु बाह्य ज्ञान हैला. Maharaj Pratap Rudra picked the Lord up with great respect, but upon seeing the king, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his external senses. And what he said? Raja dekhi Mahaprabhu kare na dhikkar, chi chi vishaira sparsha haila amar. After seeing the king, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu condemned himself, saying, "Oh, how pitiful it is that I have touched a person who is interested in mundane affairs." This is purposefully Mahaprabhu is doing all this. Mahaprabhu is extremely pleased with the devotion and service, menial service of King Pratap. That's how he fell down there. He could have chosen to fall down anywhere else also, but purposefully he fell down next to King Pratap and allowed him to touch him also. But then he says such words. Aveshete Nityananda na haila savadhane Kashishwara Govinda achila anyasthane. Not even Lord Nityanand Prabhu, Kashishwar or Govinda took care of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he fell down. Nityananda was in great ecstasy and Kashishwar and Govind were elsewhere. This is again arrangement of Lord only. Exclusively, he wanted to give service attention to King Pratap Rudra. Yadyapi Rajarav dekhi chadi sevan prasanna hayya chetare milibare man. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already been satisfied by the king's behavior, or the king had accepted the service of a sweeper for Lord Jagannath. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually desired to see the king. In devotional life, we say one who remains backside, in a sense, does menial services. Menial services also means which nobody is watching that. Nobody is interested to see. So that kind of thing king did. And then Lord gives preference to him, like Dukhi also in Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Srivas Angan, when they were bathing the Lord in Mahaprakash Leela. Mahaprabhu saw the long queue, and towards the end near Ganges, there was this Dukhi filling the pot with Ganges water and handing over to the next devotee. And like that it was coming. Here Nityananda, here Advaita Acharya, they are bathing the Lord. So Mahaprabhu looked all the way there and he asked, "Who is that?" Then Mahaprabhu was told she is called Dukhi. In Bengal and some villages, they give names like this so that misfortune does not fall upon such children. Already they are poor and let not further calamities happen. So let us name them as Dukhi. Similarly, Shamanand Pandit, his earlier brothers died as soon as they were born. So he was named as Dukhi. Name is Dukhi. Yeah, the sad one, distressed one. Oh, so bad. So that further misfortune does not fall upon them. When he got initiated, he was given name Dukhi Krishna. And when the Radharani gave him mercy in the form of her ankle bell, she imprinted on his forehead in the form of Tilak, became famous by the name Shamanandi Tilak. Then on he became famous by the name Shamananda, one who gave pleasure to Shama, Srimati Radharani. And from her heart only manifested beautiful Sham Sundar, 1 foot tall around. And she gifted him that you may worship. So that's why we say, Jaya Radha Sham Sundar, Radha Sham Sundar Radhe Radha. श्रील श्यामानंदर प्राण धन है, श्रील श्यामा धन है, जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे राधा. So this deity is still in Sri Vrindavan Dham only. All other deities except Radha Raman, Raman Dev and Sham Sundar. Other 5 deities left for Jaipur, Karoli and other places in Rajasthan. But these are there. तथापि आपन गणे करिते सावधान, बाह्य किचु रोषाभास हैला भगवान. However, just to warn his personal associates, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, externally expressed feelings of anger. Purport Prabhupada says, when Maharaj Prataprudra asked to see Lord Chaitanya, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately refused, saying, Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajanon mukhasya param param jigamishayor bhavasagarasya sandarshanam vishayinam atayoshitamscha ahanta hanta vishabhakshanato sadhu. That Mahaprabhu would not like to even look at the faces of materialistic people. He would say that I prefer to be in a pit infested with poisonous cobras. No problem. They will sting me with all their deadly poison. Gross body will die, but let not subtle body become contaminated with materialistic desires. I can be in a cage which has hundreds of hungry lions. No problem. I can be in a closed house, from all 4 directions it is closed, and it is set on fire from all directions. No problem. But let not me see the face of materialistic people. That much. So we should also, by this understand, we should not be taking the association of materialistic people. We should offer them association that we have received through our superiors. That way. Prabhu Ravachane Raja Ramana Haila Bhoy Sarvabhauma Kahe Tumi Na Kara Samshay. Because of the words of the heavy words, chi chi, as he said earlier, directly, chi chi Vishaira Sparsha Haila Amar. I was touched by a materialist. So Raja, King Prataprudra became fearful. But Sauram Bhattacharya pacified. No. Don't doubt. Don't worry. Tomara upare Prabhura Suprasannaman Tomalai Lakshakari Shikhayena Nijagan. Mahaprabhu is extremely pleased with you, and he is only teaching his own followers by making you the target. Through you, he is teaching all his followers. Avasara janiyami kariba nivedan seikale yai kariha prabhura milan. I will look for a nice opportunity and I will inform you. That time you will be able to meet Mahaprabhu, and that opportunity will come very soon. Tabe Mahaprabhu Ratha Pradakshina Kariya Ratha Pache Yai Thele Rathe Matha Diya. After circumambulating Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went behind the car and began pushing it with his head. This picture is also there. Mahaprabhu is so small, I don't know whether you can see. Mahaprabhu is here. That cart is very huge. Mahaprabhu has gone backside and he's touching the cart with his head. Chalila Ratha hoda kari Chaturdiki loka saba bole hari hari. As soon as he pushed, the car immediately started to move. making a rattling noise. The people all around began to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hari, Hari. So Mahaprabhu's touch is enough. तबे प्रभु निज भक्त गण लय संगे बलदेव सुभद्राग्रे नृत्य करे रंगे. As the car began to move, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates in front of the cars occupied by Lord Balram and Subhadra, the goddess of fortune. Greatly inspired, he then began to dance in front of them. From backside he pushed, and in front he is dancing with his associates. Taha nritya kari Jagannatha aage aila, Jagannatha dekhi nritya kari te lagila. After finishing the dance before Lord Baldev and Subhadra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came before Lord Jagannath's car. Upon seeing Lord Jagannath, he began to dance again. चलिया आइल रथ बलगंडी स्थाने जगन्नाथ रथ राखी देखे दाहिने वामे. When they reached the place called Balagandi, Lord Jagannath stopped his car and began to look left and right. Vame viprashasan narikelavana dahine ta pushpodhyana yena vrindavan. On the left side, Lord Jagannath saw a neighborhood of Brahmins and a coconut tree grow. On the right side, he saw nice flower gardens resembling those in the holy place, Vrindavan. आगे नृत्य करे गौर लया भक्तगण रथ राखी जगन्नाथ करे न darshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees were dancing in front of the car, and Lord Jagannath, having stopped the car, watched the dancing. से स्थले भोग लागे आचये नियम कोटि भोग भक्त जगन्नाथ करे आस्वादन. It was customary that food be offered to the Lord at Vipra Shasan. Indeed, innumerable dishes of food were offered, and Lord Jagannath tasted each one of them. जगन्नाथेर छोटो बोडो यत भक्तगण निज निज उत्तम भोग करे समर्पण. All kinds of devotees of Lord Jagannath, from neophytes to most advanced, offered their best cooked food to the Lord. Balagandi. This is just there only near Jagannath Vallabh Garden. How many of you visited Jagannath Vallabh Garden? How many of you had been to Jagannath Puri? So all of you must have visited. You may not be knowing what is called a Jagannath Vallabh Garden. When we are going from Nilachal to Sundarachal, somewhere in the middle left side, if you go, there is nice garden. So that is called a Jagannath Vallabh Garden. Garden which is very dear to Lord Jagannath's heart. Raja Raja Mahishi Vranda Patra Mitragan Nilachal Vasiyat Choto Bodo Jan. These devotees included the king, his queens, his ministers and friends, and all other big and small residents of Jagannath Puri. So they all offered all varieties of foodstuffs to Lord Jagannath. Cooked food. Nana Deshera Deshiyata Yatrika Jan Nija Nija Bhogata Kare Samarpan. All the visitors who had come from different countries to Jagannath Puri, as well as the local devotees, offered their personally cooked food to the Lord. So you could also offer, if you go during Ratha Yatra, you can have your food cooked in your Bangalore, South Bangalore, and you can carry it there by aeroplane, so that it will be fresh only next day for Ratha Yatra, and you can offer there in Balagandi. आगे पाछे दोई पार्श्वे पुष्पोद्यान वने यही यहाँ पाए लगाए नहीं नियमे. The devotees offered their food everywhere, in front of the car and behind it, on the two sides, within the flower garden. Wherever possible, they made their offerings to the Lord, for there were no hard and fast rules. How many of you seen that? I had been once or twice in Ratha Yatra, twice I think, but I don't remember that part. भोगेर समय लोकेर महाभीड़ हैला नृत्य छाड़ी Mahaprabhu upavane gela. While the food was being offered, a large crowd of people gathered. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped his dancing and went to a nearby garden. Premaveshe Mahaprabhu upavana paya pushpadhyane gruha pindaya rahila padiya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the garden and, immersed in great ecstatic emotion, fell flat on a raised platform there. Of this also photo is there. And that is the place where King Prataprudra comes to massage his lotus feet. Only that photo is not in this itself. Okay, it is there. Before that Ratha Yatra. And how to show that? bottom. Yes, ma'am. So this is that Jagannath Vallabh garden. You are getting to see here only. And Mahaprabhu is resting beneath one tree. That's where King Prataprudra will come. For now, the discussion, what we are at, there Prataprudra has not yet come. नृत्य परिश्रमे प्रभुर देहे घन घर्म sugandhi शीतल vayu karena sevana. The Lord was very much fatigued from the hard labor of dancing, and there was perspiration all over his body. He therefore enjoyed the fragrant, cool breeze of the garden. Yata bhakta kirtaniya asiya arame prativrukshatale sabe karena vishrame. Other devotees also came. They also chose their different trees. They also rested beneath different trees. Yei takahila prabhura mahasankirtana Jagannather age aiche korila nartana. Thus I have described the great performance of congregational chanting by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he danced in front of Lord Jagannath. So pastime is getting wound up. रथाग्रते प्रभु ऐचे करिला नर्तन चैतन्याष्टके रूप गोसाई कर्या छे वर्णन. In his prayer known as the Chaitanyashtak, Srila Rupa Goswami has given a vivid description of the Lord's dancing before the car of Jagannath. So he is reciting here, I think, 7th verse. रथारूढ़स्याराद अधिपदवी नीलाचलपतेर अधभ्र प्रेमोर्मिस्फुरित नटन्नोल्लास विवशः सहर्षं गायद्भिः परिवृत तनुर् वैष्णवजनैः सचैतन्य किं मे पुनरपि दृशोर्यास्यति पदम्. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced down the main road in great ecstasy before Lord Jagannath, the master of Nilachal, who was sitting on his car. Overwhelmed by the transcendental bliss of dancing and surrounded by Vaishnavas who sang the holy names, he manifested waves of ecstatic love of Godhead. When will Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again be visible to my vision? This is 7th verse from the first of the Chaitanyashtak prayers in the book of Stavamala by Rupa Goswami. When will Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again be visible to my vision? Just like Jagannatha Swami, please guide my vision. Nayana Pathagami. So here, when will Lord be visible to my vision? Second last verse. Iha yai shune sei Sri Chaitanya pai. You can repeat. Iha yai shune sei Sri Chaitanya pai. Sudruda Vishwasa Saha Prema Bhakti Hoy. So this is blessing to all of us. Anyone who hears this description of the car festival will attain Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Haribo. He will also attain the elevated state by which he will have firm conviction in devotional service and love of Godhead. Just to go on with these descriptions requires faith. Anybody who goes on like that, he will definitely have firm conviction in devotional service and love of Godhead also. People will not come rich only these pastimes, this book itself and this pastime. And if at all they reach, they may not read it only. Many may purchase set, Chaitanya Charitamrita set, because nowadays there are 3 or 4 marathons in ISKCON. Bhadra Purnima, Srimad Bhagavatam distribution marathon, then Gita Jayanti, that is December marathon month, there mainly Bhagavad Gita distribution, then Janmashtami, Krishna book marathon, and Gaur Purnima, Chaitanya Charitamrita set distribution marathon. So ISKCON has now 4 marathons. That day is not far when we'll have 12 months marathon. For every month they'll find out something or the other, and some book accordingly will be there, something like that. So 4 marathons. Life only will be marathon. Is marathon anyway now. Okay, last. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rup and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 13th chapter, describing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic dancing at Lord Jagannath's our festival. Okay, any question? Today we ended early by Mahaprabhu's grace.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the nectarian class.
The thanks to Krishna Kaviraj Goswami.
Thank you
I
very much.
knew
Prabhuji.
not a single detail of this. Thanks to his writing. And thanks to Raghunath Das Goswami who narrated on the bank of Ratha.
Prabhuji, you mentioned Bhav and Mahabhav. Can you
My God.
explain a little bit?
भाव का ही है अभाव. कैसे बताऊं मैं आपको महाभाव. This bhav is possible for us. That is second last stage. Before reaching love of Godhead, we have ecstatic ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. So you know that initial stages. Initially there is some faith that leads to association of devotees, that leads to starting of bhajan, chanting, etc. Then anathas are removed. One becomes steadily fixed up, nishtha. Then he has ruchi, in general attraction for devotional activities. Then asakti, from attachment to Krishna. Then bhava, he develops ecstasy. There are 9 symptoms of bhava as given by Rupa Goswami in the 17th chapter of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first wave, first section. So he says, Avyartha kalatvam, one does not waste a single moment in his life. The one who is in bhava bhakti stage. Then asha bandha, hope against hope. No matter what happens, what calamities come in life, he always has hope that I will definitely get Krishna. Then pritistad vasati stale, he has great fondness for residing in holy dham. Even if he is not able to go there physically, in the mind he will be thinking about that. Then asaktistat upakhyane, he will have great attachment to describe the glories of the Lord. Then which remain, mana shunyata, complete freedom from false pride, etc. Then virakti, detachment. Still some remain, maybe 6. Namagane sada ruchihi. He is always having ruchi, attraction. Ruchi means taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord. Any other? 2 or more remaining, I think. But anyway, these are on the bhava stage. One who has reached. How to know whether somebody has reached bhava stage? Externally, there will be symptoms that Ashta Sattvic Vikar could be there, but that could be imitated also. So that's why internal symptoms are very important, because that ecstasy can be some time in the day, whereas these 9 are 24 hours a day. So that is bhav. Then there is prem, love for Krishna. Then beyond that, there is pranay and other things. And then mahabhav, that is for Srimati Radharani. That is not for human beings. We can never achieve beyond prem. No need to worry. Out of syllabus for whole of eternity. That is only for eternal associates, ragatmika devotees. We are raganuga devotees. We are means we want to become eventually. So we can follow in the footsteps, anuga, going behind. Ga means to go, anu means behind. To go behind those who have raga as their natural, ragatmika devotees. Like Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, Radharani, Ashtasakis, etc. And we go behind them. We are raganuga then.
So Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj and others, for 60,000 years or something in their previous life, they, did tapasya to reach, in their next life, so that they could have Krishna as their child. So does it mean that we should also do like that?
Yeah, for this one life at least. We can do tapasya of getting up early in the morning, attending morning program, chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Attending Srimad Bhagavatam class or reading every day. Then following 4 regularity principles. We have been told what austerities to do. So we should do that. And don't worry about who we would be in Golok Vrindavan. Yes. Hare Krishna. That Jiva is
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Again, as Prabhuji said, thank you so much for the wonderful nectar, Prabhuji. The question was, we mentioned about associating with Vishais. So, but in our due course, we do have this interaction day in, day out.
That's why we should not take their association, we should give association. Just like in COVID, if your immunity is stronger than others, then you don't get infected like that. So don't get infected by their bad association. So you should always have Krishna conscious association to offer. You chant there, you should give book to them, you should give prasad to them, or at least preach to them verbally. They say the best way of defense is to attack. So you should preach. Not that they are preaching materialistic stuff and you are listening submissively. Then you will be influenced. We should preach. Should preach to your boss also. About Supreme Boss, Krishna. Yagyapati, Dhyampati, what else? Patimpati, Sattvatam any other? Many more are there. Surapati. So Krishna is the Supreme Master. We should preach about him. Then you cannot get influenced by anyone. Otherwise, Maya, Jahan Krishna Tahan Nahi, Maya Radhikar. Where there is Krishna, Maya has no influence. Just like now this light is coming this side. So there is no influence of ignorance on this side. Backside there may be, but not this side. So where there is Krishna consciousness, there is no scope for Maya. So we should preach. We should not keep quiet. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks a lot for the last 3 evenings, wonderful nectar. My question is about this Falasriti, Prabhuji. Like even now, Falasriti also it says like whoever hears this, those they will attain Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even for Ekadis also there are like many Falasritis. How to understand, Prabhuji, those things?
That
Because
is going to happen. Only they don't tell when. They are very intelligent. You will definitely attain the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When, that is not specified. That depends on you. As much as intense you are in your devotion practice, that quickly. But it is bound to happen. Yes, any other? Mataji, have a question? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
We see that we also hear that Krishna of Mathura, Krishna of Dwarka, and Krishna of Vrindavan are different.
Mhm.
But here we see Krishna of Mathura thinking about Vrindavan and gopis. Is it that Krishna is Mathura of Krishna, or is it Vrindavan Krishna?
No need to worry. They say that here is this Yashodanandan Krishna, and there is the Vasudeva Krishna, son of Vasudeva. So devotees are generally fond of Yashodanandan Krishna, Krishna in Vrindavan. But no problem, they are all Krishna only. At least for now, we have to realize that we are not bodies, we are spirit soul. After that, Bhagavad Vigyan, little later. Bhagavad Sakshatkar, first Atma Sakshatkar. No need to worry. Prabhupada established Rukmini Dwarkadish also in Los Angeles. Isn't it? In fact, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman also in Mumbai and other places. So currently we have to just go on worshipping Krishna, and in particular, especially we should hear attentively our chanting. We have to all chant very nicely. Then all these revelations will happen. Very deep realizations will be gained as we go ahead. Is that okay? Just like in Krishna book, 90 chapters. First 40 chapters are about, not 40, because Krishna reaches, kills Kamsa in Mathura, but something like, 34 chapters are about Vrindavan Lila. Then next some few more, 15, 20 about Mathura Lila, and then remaining Dwarka Lila. So will we read only about Vrindavan Lila, first 30, 40 chapters, and remaining Krishna book is not for me? We don't do that. We read, isn't it? We read whole Krishna book, or for that matter, we read entire Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. Vrindavan Leelas, Mathura Leelas, and Dwarka Leelas. As we evolve in our consciousness, our attraction to particular Krishna will be there. You are not satisfied, it seems. You have the choice to read your section that you appreciate the most. Yes.
I was just thinking, last time when I had been to Ratha Yatra, we could not relish the way that we relish now in terms of looking at Mahaprabhu dancing, or in Ratha Yatra, we can't even stand over there.
Hmm.
But this is the best way to relish the Ratha Yatra.
Yeah, but it should be present for Ratha Yatra also on the streets of Bangalore, because Lord Jagannath only is going to come out. When the patients are too sick, doctor goes to their house to treat them. So Lord Jagannath is going to. Today only morning we had gone to Jayanagar. So I was seeing there were so many lakhs of Bangalore people wandering, loitering, getting lost also. Some are in the buses, packed. The buses where ladies were next to driver. I thought that lady will sit on the lap of the driver and will start moving the staircase.
Because it is free, they're free for them now.
Huh? Achha, free. But they were standing only. Now, whatever free. Free doesn't mean that they don't get seat, na? Seat is authorized, but it is so packed, there's no seat only, and she was next to driver only. If the driver faints, she will only move the steering. So, and on the street also, so many thousands of people, young boys, this Dayanand Sagar institutes. My God, I've seen gate number 1, gate number 2. Our eyes particularly look for youngsters. So many people are there. And I was thinking after coming here, oh Lord Jagannath will mostly offer mercy to this people. You cover this area, Jayanagar? Okay. So, it's good. That is also to be done. But because many of us may be in managerial services that time, sometimes we may not be able to dance there. We may be just in distributing water only. All the time on that tractor or something. You cannot touch the ground only. But no problem. You can read these pastimes also. But Rathetu Vamanam Drushta Punarjanmana Vidyate. Anybody who sees Lord Jagannath on his cart, he will not take birth again. So it's a great fortune to be able to see Lord Jagannath on the cart. And he is in full ecstasy. He goes wild because he's seeing so many loving devotees, thousands, plus all his children only, lost children, Bangaloreites, or whatever, I don't know what you call them, residents of Bangalore. What is the population? 1 crore plus 1.5. You should ideally take him all around all the streets, that first cross, second cross, third cross. I was seeing Jayanagar, so many cross roads. So, yes, this should be read. This can be read. All the details, and our mind goes there. As he says, Mahaprabhu, while looking at Jagannath, Annera Rudhayamon, Moraman Rundavan. For others, their heart is their mind, but my mind is only Rundavan. So that mood also will come when we read this. Yes, any other? For anybody else, they will be liberated. You don't want them to be liberated. You alone want to go. Huh? My God. Your viewers are watching on your camera. They'll be angry.
After seeing Lord on the cart, they'll come back and they'll do all nonsense.
But no problem. It is said at the last moment of one's life, the whole life is like a flashback. And at that time, when it is going with high speed, when it comes to Ratha Yatra, it stops there. And only looking at Jagannath, one leaves body. This is what is told. So hopefully it will happen to all the Bangalore people who will witness Lord Jagannath on his cart in ecstasy. We should pray that let them get liberated. And before they get liberated, you should go and preach to them. Because till then they are alive only, before liberation. Maybe for a few decades. So it is our responsibility to reach them. Outreach. Go out of your way and reach them. outreach. Yes, any other?
Prabhuji, so we are saying thank you, but so much nice class. So is there any better way than just saying thank you?
Then? Acha, by reading it 108 times and also telling it to others. Jare dekho tare kaho, Krishna Upadesh, Amara Agyai Guru Haya, Tare Desh. You also become speaker of this chapter of Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Preach to few people, 5, 10, 15, online, offline, and tell them, I will tell you about Ratha Yatra. You could do this before next Ratha Yatra. Narrate the whole incident.
Thank you.
Yes, Hare Krishna. That's what Prabhupada said. What you have received from me, you distribute to one and all. That is parampara also. Any other? Okay.
During the Rath Yatra, demigods also
Yes.
part of the.
In Jagannath Puri, they are sometimes in the form of birds also. If you see, they fly around the Rath, exactly above the Rath. They will be circumambulating Rath of Jagannath. Like that. And some of them come in human form. And where daytime you'll find lakhs of people, and by evening almost few only. So where do they come from? Where do they go? The demigods also come. Lord of whole world, whole creation rather. So demigods also. As such, demigods keep coming to Jagannath Puri every now and then. In Chaitanya Mangal, Srila Rochandas Thakur talks, one of the last chapters is about Vibhishan coming towards him. Very huge Kai, Mahakai. And a Brahman who went to commit suicide there because he had gone from some part of India begging for some money. Jagannath was not giving money, he was fasting. Then he thought, let me just commit suicide. He goes to ocean and then he finds a huge personality coming out of the ocean, means from behind the ocean. And he's looking up, he's coming. And he comes and he reduces to human-like form as he lands on the beach of Jagannath Puri. And he starts walking towards Jagannath temple. So he feels this person seems to be some big, powerful person. Maybe he could give me money. So he goes behind him, and he talks to him also. Where are you going? He says, I'm going to meet Lord. Like that. Oh, I will also come. So he goes behind. So he's going towards Sri Mandir and suddenly he takes right and enters in Gambhira and meets Mahaprabhu. And this person is wondering. He came to meet the Lord, but he did not go only to Jagannath temple. And they discuss there, and there that man cries that, oh Lord, please give me something. Then Mahaprabhu tells Vibhishan that in some code language, which nobody else can understand, satisfy this fellow. So then they come out, and then Vibhishan, he asks, who are you? He said, I'm Vibhishan. I'm coming from Sri Lanka. And then he says, but you told you are going to meet the Lord, and you did not go only to meet Jagannath, you directly came back. He said, I already met the Lord. He went, I did not see. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Lord Jagannath only. Like that. So that pastime is described. So many demigods come. Even in Navadvip Leela also, when Jagai Madai were delivered, there the whole chapter is there, Yamaraj Sankirtan. In all, at least the topmost demigods name, Agni, Chandra, Varun, Vayu, all of them. They are all coming in their chariots, in their different vehicles. And Yamaraj comes to know, he faints. All of them do Sankirtan. So many demigods are always there in the pastimes of the Lord. When Chachi Mata was pregnant, that time also Garbhastuti is there. Like when Devaki Mata was pregnant, likewise. Yes. Okay, we'll end then. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदी।
Hare Krishna, let's thank Sri Sundarshyam for wonderfully drowning us in the pastimes of Rath Yatra by once chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Rath Yatra here in ICC will be conducted on 20th of this month. It will be in Bhakti Kutir, which is in Basaveshwar Nagar, Shivanagar, Basaveshwar Nagar, that area. So afternoon 3 p.m. onwards, the program starts. So devotees can come for that festival. It's 20th of June, Tuesday. Yeah, invite all your family, friends, colleagues, and give them this opportunity to take darshan of the Lord on the Rath. Hare Krishna. So Prasadam is there for all devotees. So you have 2 more classes by Prabhuji tomorrow morning. Bhagavatam class here, 8 o'clock. And on Sunday at 10:30 a.m., that is the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Also, one small request to all the devotees. While returning back, please go from the new temple gate side, because here the main gate, the concrete is still wet. If you walk on that, the foot impressions will come. So please kindly make sure. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Permanent lotus footprints.